Good morning, and welcome back to a new semester of Sbu-Tv. I'm Emily Weber.
And I'm Madeline Edwards. We're so excited to be back with you this morning. Let's get right to it. The Bonaventure newspaper not printing this week due to extreme changes to their production. BV writers messaged alumni prior to filling out fundraising forms. The budgetary officer, Rob DeFazio, made the decision to remove Professor Carol McNall from her position as advisor. The BV is publishing online and plans to print next week. Student and alumni responses are overflowing with support and concern. The BV has sent out a press release, and there is a petition to reinstate McNall on Facebook. We reached out to McNall and editor of the BV, Natalie Forster, but they refused to comment at this time. We will continue to bring you updates as we find out more information.
St. Bonaventure students sent a threatening email to a freshman earlier this week. Safety and Security contacted state police after freshman Grant Klinkner sent a mass email to the residents of second floor Robinson Hall. The email, written in German, contained threats to the well-being of students. New York State Trooper James O'Callahan said, "Law enforcement searched Klinkner's room and car but found nothing threatening." Klinkner, who is currently suspended from campus, denied to comment. Police charged him with aggravated harassment. Trooper O'Callahan said every case such as this must be taken seriously.
It doesn't matter if we perceive that it could be a hoax or it could be just someone joking around. We can't look at it that way. We have to look at it as this is real, this is a threat, and we're going to do everything we can to defuse the problem.
O'Callahan said Klinkner will appear in court later this month. We will continue to bring updates as we receive them.
A terroristic threat aimed at Olean High School students marred the first few days of classes last week. According to Olean Police Chief Jeffrey Raleigh, a video posted on social media last Thursday included pictures of various Olean High School students. The video also listed the name, date of birth, and the phrase RIP for each student. Classes went on as scheduled through Friday afternoon, and it wasn't long before police caught the suspect later that evening. Although the situation has been resolved, it was a case that Raleigh had not seen the likes of before.
This one was a little unique in the fact that it used social media. I think the ones we've had previously were more graffiti related, but these things will undoubtedly continue, and each one will be a little bit different than the next, and we'll just do the best we can to put an end to it as quickly as possible.
Because the suspect is a minor, police could not release his name. Police charged the teen with making a terroristic threat, and he will be arraigned in Olean Family Court. Coming up, we remember a student killed in a tragic accident at the beginning of the semester.
Plus, 6 deaths related to vaping. We'll have more on why e-cigarettes are so bad for you. Stick around. Sbu-Tv, new now next.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun? Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
What are you looking for?
Bonaventure student Alexis Reyes killed in a car accident days before the semester started. Teddy Caputo spoke with the university about their plans to memorialize her.
On August 24th, 2019, the university's notice board notified the campus community that Alexis Reyes died in a car accident in Pennsylvania while driving back to St. Bonaventure from New York City. Reyes was a part of the HEOP program and planned on getting her degree in psychology and sociology. She was also the first person ever in her family to go to college. I'm standing outside of DeVroe Hall at St. Bonaventure University. This is where Alexis Reyes would have lived this year. I was unable to get in contact with her family members, and her close friends declined to comment on camera about her passing. However, I did talk to some Bonaventure faculty members who knew Alexis personally, and they had nothing but positive things to say about her.
From the very first day, always had a smile on her face, was really friendly, which I think she was always like that, and that's what kind of invited other people in to be her friend, and people always wanted to be her friend for that reason.
I know I used to talk to her last semester near the end about what she was looking forward to, and she was so looking forward to her sophomore year.
Part of who she was, I think, was just kind of the idea of being close with your family, developing a really strong relationship, and then extending that feeling of family with the people she was around.
The HEOP program has created a new award called the Alexis Reyes Franciscan Spirit Award. This award will be rewarded to a student who has high spirits and who truly embodies St. Bonaventure's Franciscan values. I'm Teddy Caputo, Sbu-Tv, New Now Next.
The original memorial service for Alexis Reyes was postponed due to a miscommunication. Her memorial service has been rescheduled. Check our social media for the details.
6 people dead in the past 2 months due to vape-related illnesses. Sbu-TV's Brendan O'Leary tells you why it's so dangerous.
The self-advertised healthy solution to smoking, vaping has been linked to 6 deaths and more than 450 cases of lung illness associated with e-cigarettes. As of Wednesday, President Trump and his administration stated that they would ban most flavored e-cigarettes from being sold in stores. Like many high schools who have seen nearly a doubling of vape users, colleges have also seen an increase. With 3 vape stores less than a 10-minute drive away, students have easy access to vape products. 3 Faces Tobacco, N3 Vapor, and JSS Vapor Lounge, where patrons can buy vape products, jewels, vape pens, or
something like this, a regular old vape. So tiny, yet so unexpectedly deadly. So how does it work? Let's find out.
I went to the Center for Student Wellness at St. Bonaventure University to speak with Dr. Marlene Woosmith about the possible dangers of vaping.
1 3 ml cartridge is equivalent to a pack of cigarettes, an entire pack, and it's not uncommon for people who vape to use 3 to 5 of these cartridges in a week.
Well, that's interesting, but now how should one stop vaping? Well, Dr. Woosmith suggested they should try to wean themselves off of it with nicotine.
It is definitely recommended to do some nicotine replacement. So a patch during the day, in addition to the nicotine gum or lozenges, would be quite helpful.
This has been Brendan O'Leary bringing you New Now Next, Sbu-TV.
The Center for Disease Control states it's continuing its investigation into the severe pulmonary disease among e-cigarette users.
School is in session, and for some, that means vaccination time. I spoke to experts from the Cattaraugus County Health Department to find out what New York State requires you to do for school vaccinations. School is in session, and students need to ensure their vaccinations are updated. According to the New York Department of Health, students need to be vaccinated by the 14th day of school, or they will no longer be able to attend until they get vaccinated. Vaccines that are required by the state for students include polio, meningitis, hepatitis B, measles, mumps, and rubella, and chickenpox. The state is also trying to pass a bill requiring the HPV vaccine for students, but community health nurse Shauna Trudeau said not everyone is on board.
I know there's a lot of controversy about the HPV vaccination. There's a lot of bad information out there that parents are unfortunately getting their hands on. It's a good vaccine. It's been proven to be safe.
The reason these shots are required isn't just about keeping yourself healthy, it's about protecting others.
Somebody who might have HIV or being treated for cancer, they can't receive vaccinations.
By getting vaccinated, you're helping someone with a weak immune system. School beginning also kicks off the start of flu season. I'm here at the Cattaraugus County Health Department where I spoke to experts to find out if it's too early for you to get your flu vaccine. Supervising health nurse Barb Parrish told me the answer.
Certainly before the onset of flu is the best time.
Barb added that most flu shot clinics begin in October, and once you get the shot, it takes 2 weeks for it to fully be in your system. With Sbu-Tv, I'm Madeline Edwards. The Cattaraugus County Health Department is holding several flu vaccine clinics beginning at the end of September that run through October, including 3 at St. Bonaventure. Check out our Facebook for the list of dates and locations. Up next, we have some tips on how to keep your information safe online.
And I got to visit Allegheny's newest ice cream spot and learn about how ice cream is made. Stay with us. Sbu-Tv, new now next.
What are you looking for?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. The Bonaventure community gathered this week to pay their respects to the lives lost in 9/11. St. Bonaventure remembered the events of 9/11 with a memorial service. They honored Bonnie's alumni, Friar Michael Judge, Rob Peraza, and Amy O'Doherty. The ceremony included the singing of the national anthem and bell ringing for the fallen Bonnies. The Bonas community had the opportunity to place flowers on the memorial outside of the Swan Business Center. St. Bonaventure is proud to remember 9/11. President Dennis DePiro spoke at the ceremony and shared words of encouragement.
And have hope and faith in the future.
Last night, the 10 Democratic candidates shared a stage for the first time in the 2020 presidential race. The debates were fierce and the candidates did not hold back. Former Vice President Joe Biden seemed to catch most of the flack. His rivals hoped to chip away at his lead. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, arguably Biden's biggest contenders, seemed rather absent from the debate. Angling themselves to win over the progressive vote, they mostly focused on free Medicare. Biden was arguably the winner of the debate, dominating the first 30 minutes where most people tune in. He rehashed the same message he had for the last 2 debates, that he is the best candidate to replace Donald Trump.
Over 50 Bonaventure accounts hacked last week. Aaron Lanahan spoke with an expert on tips for keeping your information safe.
Over 650 cyber attacks affected hundreds of millions of people in 2018, according to Revision Legal. These cyber attacks include email hacking. Just last week, over 50 Bonaventure students and alumni became victims. Student Teresa Arabia recalled waking up to strange activity in her account.
It said that this message failed to deliver, and I was like, I never sent this message. And so I looked at my sent message, and there were hundreds of messages sent to random email addresses.
After a visit to tech services, she was able to get her information back. Now, Teresa made some changes about how she browses the internet.
It can just happen from saving your passwords in your browser, and I know it's really convenient, but I'm probably going to stop doing that.
This isn't just an on-campus issue. You could be home, in a coffee shop, or at your friend's house and still lose your information if you're not careful enough.
The Chief Information Officer at SBU, Mike Hoffman, suggests a few ways students can protect their information.
So the best thing to do is just be cautious. So when you get an email, even if it's from somebody you think you know, be very careful about clicking links and opening files. We'll be working this year to start getting students set up with what's called two-factor authentication.
The two-factor authentication sends a unique code to the user's cell phone. This process adds a second layer of security. Hoffman said this will help better protect students from future cyber attacks. Erin Lanahan, Sbu-Tv, New Now Next.
Another tip Hoffman gave, sign out of your account when you're done using it to prevent anyone else from accessing it.
Simply Sinful homemade ice cream found its home on West Main Street in Allegheny last week. I talked to the owners to find out how they make their ice cream. Loganberry, caramel coffee crunch, and banana cream pie. These are just a few of the flavors that can be found in Allegheny's new ice cream shop, Simply Sinful Homemade Ice Cream. If you've been walking up and down the streets of Allegheny this week, you may have noticed this large ice cream cone next to the Hickey Tavern. This ice cream cone popped up about a week ago when a local family decided to open up their own homemade ice cream shop. I went inside to talk to the owners about how they make the ice cream, the different flavors they provide from week to week, and how they balance it with 2 full-time jobs. Fred Kramer, co-owner and operator, explained how this idea came to life.
One day we were sitting at the table and I said, you know, we eat ice cream quite a bit. We should just own a place. It was kind of started out as a joke, you know.
Fred brought me back to where they keep their batch freezer, the place where the ice cream mix goes to be chilled. They keep this back room at a chilly 62 degrees. Fred says that other than the candy they mix in, the ice cream contains all natural ingredients, no preservatives. Simply Sinful regular Divine Leacock told me why this is his new favorite spot.
Because I'm actually lactose intolerant, so with that being said, and I came in here and tried it out, and it was like, it didn't bother me at all, so it was great.
New flavors are put up week to week and sometimes daily to keep customers coming. Simply Sinful Ice Cream is open from 3 to 9 p.m. every day.
Oh my gosh. That ice cream sounds really good, Emily.
When we come back, we're looking to the 100th anniversary of the Bonnie's men's basketball program.
Plus, we get a sports update from Nick Gallo. Don't go anywhere. Sbu-Tv, New Now Next.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
A Dog's Way Home is the story of the extraordinary lengths a dog will go to in order to get back to their family. Every year, millions of dogs and cats end up in shelters and rescue groups. We found our Bella at a shelter in Tennessee. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover they're all pure love. Adopt pure love and help a shelter pet find their way home at theshelterpetproject.org.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Welcome back. We're gearing up for the 100th anniversary of Bonnie's men's basketball. The RC has been decorated over the past few days to commemorate both achievements. It's also the 50th anniversary of the men's Final Four team. The 1970 team will be honored later in December. 2010 Bonna alum Derek Howard created the logos and designs for the posters around campus and more. He spoke about his meaning for the designs.
I kind of wanted it to be a little more unique to Bonna's, not too generic, so I kind of had the idea of putting the bell tower in there.
Athletics Director of Marketing Seth Johnson talks about simultaneously marketing the older teams with this current Bonnie's team.
In our messaging, how do we combine the old with the new? So we have gone with more of a messaging of that they are the building blocks.
Johnson added that messaging heading into this season is the new team, same legacy. Johnson said it's still an ongoing process to figure out potential video tributes and possibly bringing other people back other than the 1970s team.
Now on to Nick Gallo with sports.
Thanks, Maddie and Emily, and welcome back, everybody, to Sbu-Tv Sports, where sports happen here. We have another exciting year of sports as we kick off our first ever player profile with senior captain goalkeeper Lauren Malcolm.
So Lauren Malcolm, thank you again for joining us at the player profile. This is the first of the semester and the first of the year. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Your freshman year, you started like 19 games right off the bat. Talk a little bit about that, just like maybe the struggles, the successes.
It was definitely coming in as a freshman. I mean, the goal is obviously to start and play, but when that reality actually hits and sets in, I was kind of like shell-shocked at first, and I remember the first game, it didn't even feel like I was playing. Like, it was like an outer body experience.
3 years passes by. And now you're the senior, you're a captain. And now you're also top 5 in all-time saves as a Bonnie. What is that like, just hearing that and then knowing that you have a chance to keep moving up?
Yeah, no, like you said, like that's hard to believe. I try sometimes not to focus on that kind of stuff. I don't know, it's hard to believe.
Talk a little bit about your family and how they supported you.
Almost every game I see them on the sidelines, and we have this little thing, like I love when they're like near my goal, so I always like make them like switch halves. So like when I switch goals, they switch sides.
How would you describe your time here as a Bonnie?
Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, it's been amazing, and like I said, it's gonna be so sad to leave, and I try not to think about maybe like the end of it because it's just so hard sometimes to like grasp. But I definitely think like senior day or whenever our last game or practice will be, it will be sad.
Thank you again for so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Malcolm recorded her 400th save last night against Canisius. She is the 4th ever women's Bonnie soccer player to ever do that. Thanks for everybody for tuning in to Sbu-Tv Sports. Now back to you, Maddie and Emily.
Thanks, Nick. Now that's all we have for you this morning on Friday the 13th. Don't forget to check out our Sbu-Tv Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for updates throughout the week. I'm Madeline Edwards.
And I'm Emily Weber. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Friday, everyone, and have a great and safe weekend.